something that no man can resist. She's a shady lady known as the specialist. Well, if you investigate her fabulous charms, she will melt right in your arms. Oh, the specialist. When her lips whisper, love me, then you just fall apart. You know that she lives temptation to an arm. Each time she kisses you, you will know you've been kissed by a dame whose name is Wonder, the specialist. The specialist. When her lips whisper, love me, then you just fall apart. Oh, you know she lives temptation to an arm. It's inconceivable such sex could exist in her infinite caresses, in the way that she undresses, in her amorous successes. The girl's a specialist. She's a specialist. The girl's a specialist. She is a specialist.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Smith. May I help you?
No balls. You didn't have the guts to tell me in person.
Pike, now, listen to me. You and I have been good friends a long time, and you know how much I respect you.
Respect, fear. Fear, you fear me, Farley. And you better. I put you in that chair you're sitting in, created this company, made you president.
Pike, come on, let's sit down and try to be reasonable.
Reasonable? Oh, reasonable. You call biting the hand that fed you reasonable, you viper, you son of a...
Pike, let me explain. I didn't want to fire you. You've been the attorney of this firm since it was started. But the stockholders make certain demands.
Stockholders, what the hell do they know?
That's the trouble with you. You won't compromise. Everything has to be your way.
Because my way's the best way, and you know it. My father and my grandfather owned and ran this town. Now I run it. I worked my ass off trying to do what's best for this county. And no two-bit president of a water company that I created is going to fire me.
Pike, you're a first-rate lawyer. Anybody would be a fool to deny that. But you don't want to change. You don't want to let this town grow or prosper. You want everything to stay exactly the way it is.
You're damn right. You call turning this nice little town into a stinking, filthy, dirty, smoggy city growth? Is that growth?
I have to show a profit. Now, your goals conflict with the best interest of this company. I've got to have somebody new representing us. I hired Jerry Bounds to replace you. Bounds has vision, an eye to the future.
Bounds, don't tell me about Bounds. Been here 2 years, won a couple of splashy cases, now he's riding high. Well, he'll fall, and he'll fall hard. And you and this water company will go right with him. Nobody crosses Pike Smith and profits by it. I'll see you in court.
Get me Jerry Bounds.
Jerry, telephone, it's Mr. Farley.
Tell him I'll call him back from the office.
He said it's urgent. Something about Pike Smith.
Son of a bitch.
Darling, now I asked you not to carry that gun.
Elizabeth, my clients aren't all like little orphan Annie. I get all the goodies with the bail bonds.
Alex Sharkey?
Yeah, that's me. You Pike Smith?
My car's out this way.
No, we'll talk right here. Not that I think there's any bugging going on or anything.
Business must be good.
Yeah, I do okay for a lawyer without a practice.
Oh, you were a lawyer before becoming a private investigator.
Yeah, till I got careless doing something the Bar Association considered unethical.
Well, there's nothing tougher than a group of lawyers sitting in judgment on another lawyer.
Well, I'm glad to be out of it. What's on your mind, Mr. Smith?
I want you to watch the opposing attorney in a case I've got coming up in 2 weeks.
Which case is that?
Fighting to have the city condemn and take over the water company. It's a private interest now.
Well, isn't that a regular court case?
Yes, but I don't trust the opposing attorney.
What do you want me to do?
Just watch everything he does.
Watch everything who does?
Jerry Bounds.
Jerry Bounds?
Well, you've heard of him.
Yeah, who hasn't? He's been making quite a reputation for himself. The way I hear it, he's the hottest article around here. Very ambitious, very shrewd.
Very aggressive.
Well, I think you're going to have to let me do a little more than just watch him if you want to trip him up somewhere.
Like what?
Test him.
How?
I've got a friend in San Francisco. She's a knockout. Somebody I trust. Now, say she arrives in town in a day or two, and say her name just happens to get drawn for jury duty.
How can that happen?
Oh, come on, Pike. We don't have to play games. You run the county. You set up the machinery. Say she finds herself attracted to Mr. Bounds. Suppose she threw herself at him. How would he respond?
He's too smart for that. He'd probably ignore her.
Ah, not this broad. She's something else. She'd handle this whole thing so cool that Bounds wouldn't know what hit him. It's worth a try. What do you got to lose?
Bounds is very devoted to his family man.
The little lady I have in mind can turn on anybody in the world, except maybe a faggot. She's an actress, a specialist. She doesn't do any movies. She does her acting in real life. I used to use her a lot in divorce cases. I remember one time... I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you.
I'm listening.
If this broad doesn't take care of Bounds, then you don't owe me a dime. But if she does, you pay me twice my usual fee.
How much is that?
10 grand.
Oh, you're right. Bounds is ethical. He won't fool around with a juror. If he isn't ethical, he deserves to be revealed.
And it's a deal.
It's a deal. Let me know when the lady arrives. I don't want her or anybody else to know that I'm involved.
She won't know anything except what she's supposed to do. She's a pro. But somebody's got to get her on that jury. You do that, and I'll take care of the rest.
Well, that won't be easy, but I know somebody I can trust to handle it.
What do you think?
Not art. Pornography.
Huh? Yeah, because your idea of art is 2 apples, a pear, and 3 bananas, right?
Never paint anything but naked women.
Well, it's better than painting naked men. How'd you like it if I was painting Mr. Universe all the time? You know, you come in here and you force your
Why
idea...
is it whenever we talk, we always end up arguing?
Because I know where your head's at. I mean, as far as you're concerned, nothing I ever do is right. You will never, ever forgive me for never having become a lawyer.
I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I don't often do that.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you never felt you could.
There's no other person I can trust with this. Don't ask any questions.
Don't ask any questions. You just said I was the one you could trust.
I don't want you to become involved in case there's trouble.
What kind of trouble?
I want you to pick up a woman at the bus depot.
A woman? Far out. Wow, what does she look like?
Now, look, Hardin. I don't want you to get mixed up with this woman. Do you understand?
Well, what do you want to do? Just keep her for yourself?
No, it's none of your business about that. I tell you, it's not for the purpose you have in mind. You know, I was always faithful with your mother.
Yeah?
Even now that she's gone, I can't seem to get any interest in another woman. I want you to pick this person up and take her to the old Tucker place. She'll stay there.
The Tucker place? Oh, yeah, those tenants left. Hey, listen. Why don't you just let her crash here with me?
If you don't understand the seriousness of this, we better forget the whole thing.
Just cool it, will you? I'm only putting you on.
I want you to check the house out first.
Yeah.
Before she arrives. I'm going to need some help from that friend of yours at the county clerk's office. What's her name? Mary.
Martha, Dad, Martha.
Are you still friendly with her?
Yeah, I'm still very friendly with her, yeah. As a matter of fact, she's going to be over here tomorrow night.
I would like Martha to see that this woman's name is placed on the voting list and that her name is on the jury when my case comes up with Jerry Bounds, the water company thing.
You gotta be kidding. I can't ask her to go into a scene like that. I mean, she could lose her job.
You don't seem to understand. I still run this county. Not going to lose her job.
Jesus Christ! I really understand that saying they have about you. When the judge comes in, the audience and the courtroom stand up. But when Pike Smith comes in, the judge stands up.
Well, then you'll do it?
Yeah, I will.
Forget it, Sonny.
Sonny? You're not exactly a senior citizen. Wow. Hey, you are Londa Wyeth, aren't you?
Who are you?
Sharky sent me.
Oh, you know Sharky.
No, I don't exactly know him. I'm a friend of Sharky. I'm the contact man. My name is Hardin. I was just sent here to pick you up and take you to where you're going to live.
I really lucked out. Let's go.
Okay. Wow. Here, I can take the bird.
Hey, you some kind of tipsy or something?
I'm not some kind of anything. I'm an artist, man. I got a lot of awards.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I even won the Andy.
What's that?
What is the Andy? You know what that is? That's the first prize at the Grand Galleria in Seattle.
Far out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Want to come to my studio? Show you some of my paintings.
Ooh, I thought the lure this year was etching.
Okay, I'll show you my etchings, too. Didn't know you were an etching freak. Okay, let me get you in. I'm sorry if it's dusty.
Okay. Say, you got a last name?
No. I mean, yes. But just Hardin's good enough.
Mystery man, hmm?
Yeah. A lot of people say that about me. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you my last name, but you tell me your real name, because Londa Wyeth, that doesn't sound very much like a real name to me.
Well, listen. If you don't ask me any personal questions, I won't ask you any. Okay?
Okay.
Quaint little town.
Never been around here before, huh?
Nope.
Hey, are you married? Have you ever been married?
No personal questions.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's a relationship that counts. How about you? Have you ever been married?
No. And I don't want to get married either. But I lived with lots of chicks, though. I've been around.
Oh, I can tell.
Here we are. Anyway, a great pleasure it is for me to drive you here and to meet you and everything. Just get your luggage out.
All right.
Excuse me, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. You want to take this?
I'll take her.
That's a nice pet to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Penny.
Boy, you're sure gonna add a lot of class to this neighborhood.
Sure am.
What do you think about it? Can you smell the fresh, clear air?
Terrific.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I realize this isn't exactly the White House, but maybe that's more fortunate for you, huh? But we tried to find a place that was, like, as innocuous as possible.
Don't worry about it, kid. I've seen worse.
Okay. Just open it up for you. Okay.
Excuse me.
May I present you with your key, mademoiselle?
Ah, merci beaucoup. I'll give you your tip later.
Oh, I wish you would. You can just put your bird down anywhere. So listen, what do you think?
It's quite a place.
Yeah. It's not really as glamorous as you're probably used to. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll bring some of my paintings and we'll put them on the walls and I'll jazz it up a bit.
It's all right. You're very sweet, but don't bother.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. Well, I guess you want to rest and freshen up, huh?
Yeah.
Listen, would you like to have dinner with me at my place tonight? And I'll show you some of my paintings.
I thought they were etchings.
I'll show you the etchings, too.
Well, then, of course I'll have dinner with you.
Oh, great. I just have some things to do, so it may not be for a while till I get you.
Perfect.
Okay?
I'll be here.
And listen, if you want, you could bring your pet.
I thought three's a crowd. I might come alone.
Oh, that would be better. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. Hello?
Hello, baby.
Oh, Sharky. I just walked in.
Set up all right?
Yeah. Well, fooling the hicks in this town isn't going to be the most difficult assignment I ever had.
Well, I'm counting on you now.
I think I can handle it.
All right, I'll talk to you later then.
Okay. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Jerry, would you make that the 18th hole and come to bed now?
I'm sorry, baby. My mind's in the courtroom.
I wish your body were in bed. Why do you let Pike Smith upset you so much?
Oh, he's got the idea that he owns this town and everybody in it. He doesn't care if the place rots. Half my clients are on relief. Most of the time they pay me in free beers. If Pike doesn't let this town grow, it's going to get worse. He doesn't want any new lawyers around who might challenge his fossilized ideas. He's going to try to clobber my ass in court.
What's Pike Smith doing in bed with us?
Yeah. Let's kick him out.
Oh, sorry to disturb you, Dad.
No, come in. I'll be up all night with this anyway. How did it go?
Oh, I'm fine. Just fine.
You got settled in the house all right?
Yeah, everything's cool. And I even checked with Martha, and she promised to bring the lady's name up for jury duty. So that's it, I guess, huh? Hey, Dad, that chick, she sure is something. She is dynamite.
You remember what I said. You're out of it now. You're to have no further contact with,
Londa Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Listen, Dad, I had an idea. You know, about your problem with Jerry Bounds. Well, I know his wife, Elizabeth, pretty well. I mean, she's a fan of mine. She likes my work. She comes to the art shows all the time. So I figured maybe if I talk to Elizabeth Bounds...
You
then
leave Mrs. Bounds out of this. I don't want you messing around with her either.
No, I'm not talking about messing around with her. I couldn't anyway. She's not that kind. She thinks her old man too much.
How do you know that?
How do I know? Because I pick up on the vibes. I understand women pretty well.
So you leave Mrs. Bounds and Londa Wyatt alone. I don't want you to much as talk to either one of them. That's an order, do you understand?
Why don't you just stay cool, Dad, huh?
How about some beer and cheese?
No, I can't. I got a date.
Well, have fun.
Yeah, well, I'm sure as hell gonna try. I'll see you.
I don't know where that kid got his wild seed from.
What is so funny? I had very hard competition for this. Why are you laughing?
Come here. Tell me, how would you paint me? With or without clothes?
Well, that would be up to you.
Well, you're the artist. I should think that would be up to you.
Well, you have such a beautiful... your figure is like the Naked Maya by Goya. You know that one? I have it. I'm going to show it to you. Yeah. This is it. See? The Naked Maya by Goya.
Oh,
He was from
very
Spain. This is a
beautiful.
masterpiece. This is one of the greatest masterpieces in the whole world. You see, he painted this woman. She was from Spain, too. This happened in Spain. And she was brilliant and beautiful, beautiful woman of noble birth. And that's it, the Duchess of Alba.
From Spain.
From Spain, yeah. This, as a matter of fact, caused a terrific scandal in Spain at the time.
Oh, it'll cause a big scandal here right now.
Well, you see, what a lot of people fail to recognize is that a woman's body is like a work of art. And unfortunately, we have some very, very crass and crude people who are not able to, excuse me, sorry, are not able to appreciate anything above the level of prurient.
Oh, you should have been a lawyer. You speak so properly.
Yeah, that's what my dad... Hey, listen, you're not going to tell anybody about our meeting here like this, are you? I mean, it's much better if we can keep it a secret between us.
Now, who would I tell?
Well, I don't know. You're going to be here for a while. You're bound to make some friends.
I didn't come here to make friends. But don't worry. Your secret is safe with me. You can trust me. Besides, I'm going to be a recluse while I'm here. Just jury duty and then back to the seclusion of my magnificent hideaway. Tell me something. Are you sure you're not married?
Oh, no, I'm not. I swear to God. But I do have a girlfriend, and she's crazy about me. She's very possessive, very fiery and jealous, hot-tempered.
Yes, I
and
understand.
you're not going to be here for that long.
I understand. You have to protect your future.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, if you're going to paint my picture and make me famous, let's get going, huh?
Yeah. Even right now, I'm going to get my sketch pad.
Okay.
Silence in the court. Is that true, Mr. Smith?
He stole that client away from me, Your Honor.
Stole the client away from you?
Yes, you know my reputation. How else would he be representing my former client? I originally formed the water company. He had to bring charges against me which are untrue. And I suspect some fee-splitting, kickbacks.
No, let's not get into this. He is just making an offer to prove them, Mr. Smith. Proceed, Mr. Bounds.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call City Engineer Mr. Evan Daly to the witness stand.
Mr. Daly, please.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please.
Mr. Daly, you are familiar with the defendant's water storage reservoir up in the Sunset Mountains, aren't you, Lake Desire?
Yes, I am.
I object. What do you mean, the Sunset Mountains? You look at any map, you'll find that the lake is under the Sutter Mountains. Now, you may be crazy, but I certainly am not.
Perhaps I am crazy. I call the Sutter Mountains the Sunset Mountains because I love those mountains.
Gentlemen, what has this to do with the issues in this case?
Your Honor, I have been called crazy before this jury. Therefore, I'd like the opportunity to explain my statement.
Because Counsel Pike Smith was out of order in making the remark that he did. Yes, you may explain.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I call the Sutter Mountains the Sunset Mountains. I think you'll see why if you look to the west about sunset and see the first pink shadings of light as it touches the eternal snow. You'll see the deeper reds color the purpling horizon as those ocean breezes billow up and make the clouds scud across in a lovely white stream. Suddenly, those mountains explode. The whole range is afire. And then little stars twinkle in their nests of dark blue, bidding us good night. And reminding us that nothing in this world is permanent. That, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is my insanity.
Strike that from the record. It is irrelevant, incompetent, and immaterial.
Please, I will not tolerate a disturbance in this courtroom. We will now have our afternoon recess.
Everybody rise. Right this way, please. Watch your step.
Pike, you're a bully. You know it's our custom to let the jury out of the box before we leave the courtroom.
I don't give a damn about your customs.
You had no right to shove that bailiff.
Who the hell are you to tell me how to behave in court? Why are you interfering? I didn't touch you.
If the court knew about this, the judge could fine your ass for contempt. Wait a minute.
No damn shicer tells me what to do.
Excuse me. I think you better put some water on here before it swells.
Yes, I walked right into that, didn't I? Please don't say anything about this. We wouldn't want the judge to know that...
No. Come on, I'll fix it for you. Come on.
This is very embarrassing.
Oh, I think you'll survive.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a very pleasant man.
He's used to having his own way around here.
Looks like you're going to put an end to that. I admire your style. You know, if it wasn't for you, this court thing would be very, very dull.
Thank you. I appreciate your concern, but I think that we'd better not...
I think that we'd better go up to that lake. I mean, I'd like to see it. It's important in making a decision about how much money the city should pay, and can't you take me up and show it to me?
Look, I shouldn't even be talking to you. I could get disbarred for this. I can't take you anywhere.
But don't worry about it. We weren't discussing the case. I just asked you a simple question.
You're a very nice lady, but I think I better get back to the courtroom. Recess is over. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes, miss? What is it?
With the jury here, we've heard so much about this Lake Desire up in the Sunset Mountains.
The Sutter Mountain.
Please, let the juror ask the question, counsel.
Couldn't the court take us to see this lake so we could know its value?
Your Honor, I see no reason why the taxpayer should pay for this jury to go up to the mountains to see a mere lake. There will be competent appraisers to testify as to the value of the property.
Yes, but we'd like to see the beauty of the lake, as it has been described to us by the counsel for the defendant.
Gentlemen, is the aesthetic an issue in this case?
Your Honor, the beauty of this property is a matter to be considered by the jury.
Well, how in the world can that be?
Because this property could be made into a beautiful park, a park for your children, a park.
We are condemning a water system, not a park.
But, Counselor, couldn't it be a further asset to the city if it were used as a park?
It is not so used now, Your Honor, and my client will not contribute to the expense of taking the jury up to the lake. We do not think it is necessary.
What about your client, Mr. Bond?
Your Honor, my client does not wish to contribute to such a trip.
Very well, that is settled. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there will be no view trip to the lake. I'm sorry.
Working on Saturday?
Yes, may I help you?
Mm-hmm.
Jury number 6, the one with the cool and soothing hanky.
Londo Wyeth.
You know, for a moment, I almost didn't recognize you.
Good. I figured if you didn't recognize me, neither would anyone else.
Miss Wyeth, please, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I could get in terrible trouble. Remember the admonition of that mean old judge?
Oh, that stuffy old man. He's almost as dreary as that Pike Smith.
Miss Wyeth, please understand how important this is. Your presence here puts me in terrible danger. If the Bar Association knew about this, I could just be...
Oh, damn it. Why don't you trust me? I think I made it perfectly clear in court yesterday that my support is with you. To be honest, I was going to pretend I was sick just to get off that horrible jury duty. You're the only reason I've stayed on.
I'm flattered. But if anyone knew that we were here together, I'd be in really deep trouble.
Look, I won't talk about the case. But instead of all this dry testimony about that lake, why don't you and I drive up there?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's Saturday morning. Nobody's around. And I've rented a car. And you and I can go up there and be back just before you even know it.
Look, that lake is a long ways away. Why don't you just drive up by yourself? I'd be very happy to draw you a map.
No. I always get lost when I try to find my way anywhere. Besides, you said it was such a long distance.
You're a very persistent lady.
I might as well admit it. I'm mad about you.
Miss Wyeth.
Oh, don't be alarmed. It's just a passing fancy. Like when I was in school, I used to fall in love with all my teachers. I'm an incurable romantic. But when school was over, I'd fall out of love with him.
Mm.
And the same with you. When this case is over, I'm going to forget all about you. But in the meantime, all I ask is that you treat me with some respect.
I respect you. You're a very nice lady. I like you.
Then prove it.
Okay. It can't be any worse than sitting here chatting like this. I will take you up to that lake. Mm-hmm. But you must promise me one thing. That you will never try to contact me again.
Oh, I promise. If you don't want me to, I'll never contact you again.
Until after the trial.
Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful. And lawyers are somewhat human.
The car's out front.
Well, why don't you just go on ahead? And I'll follow in a few minutes.
It's red and white.
Red and white. Oh, my gosh.
Hello.
It's me, Sharky. They just left for the lake. She was up in his office quite a while.
Oh, good. I'll be right up.
You want me to make an anonymous phone call to the judge, too?
No, did you call the bailiff?
I will now.
Good. If I know the bailiff, the first thing that old Letcher will do is call the judge. But just tell him you saw them heading toward the lake and then hang up. That'll move them into action.
Okay. It's going like clockwork. She deserves an Oscar.
All right, fine then.
How's that? Not a soul around.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. Well, let's get out so I can show you the lake.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I've got a little surprise.
Surprise.
How about some lunch? A nice picnic. You must be starving. I know I am, and we certainly can't wait till we get to town to eat. It'll be dinner time.
I guess so.
Besides, we're on private property. Nobody can come here.
I'm feeling a little guilty.
Sure are. Okay, Mr. Attorney for the water company. This is your lake, so you pick out the site.
Okay. You call me Jerry.
Jerry!
All right, what are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? Who are you?
Well, if it's any of your dang business, I happen to be an officer of the Superior Court of this county. That's who I am. Who are you?
Alex Sharkey, private investigator.
Yeah, well, what are you investigating, Sharkey? I mean, this is private property and you're trespassing.
I'm here on business, and I imagine I can do without an officer of the Superior Court up here messing things up. Now, suppose you just get your ass on down the road.
Okay, now you done it, Sharkey. I'm going in town and come back here with a warrant for your arrest, huh?
Well, if you're the bailiff, let me see your badge.
Sharkey, I don't need a badge. Everybody knows who I am.
All right, I'm sorry. All right. I'm here because I was hired by Pike Smith. He thinks there's some hanky-pank going on between the lady juror and the counsel.
Hanky-pank. Boy, there's always some good-looking juror and some lawyer making eyes at one another. Are you kidding? Hanky-pank.
Is that a fact? Well, I suggest you take a look through these here, Mr. Bailiff.
Okay, Sharkey, what's your game, huh?
You know, you're really a very funny lady. You've got a great sense of humor. I like that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I like you.
Well, all right.
You know, I was really beginning to wonder if you lawyers are all so dry that you never laugh at anything.
No. You know, I don't know much about you. I really don't. Except what I read in that questionnaire you filled out for the jury. Tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Just something about your background.
Well, there's not really much to tell. I was... Well, let's see.
I mean, I'm not interviewing you for a job, but...
You mean like family stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Where'd you come from?
Well, the parents got divorced when I was very young. And my father, well, he drank a lot, so he took off. My mother had to get a job as a waitress. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Well, I just sort of stayed around the house, and 16, I ran away from home, became a model. We're getting too serious. Why don't we go for a swim?
Swim?
Oh, you do swim. I'm a terrific swimmer.
You can't swim in there.
Why not?
Well, that's a reservoir.
Who's got that something
Hey.
that no man can resist? She's a shady lady known
Come on, let's go.
as the specialist.
You're serious.
Well, if you investigate her fabulous charms, she will melt right in your arms. Or the specialist. When her lips whisper, love me,
Come on,
love
Wanda.
me, then you just fall apart. You know that she lives temptation
You can't do that.
to an arm.
Wanda!
Each time she kisses you, you will know you've been
Wanda,
kissed
get out of there.
by a dame whose name is Wanda, the specialist.
Jerry, help me.
Jesus.
Come on in. Help me, save
The
me.
specialist. When her lips whisper, love me, then you just fall apart. Oh, you know she lives temptation to an arm. It's inconceivable such sex could exist.
Come on, let's save.
In her infinite caresses, in the way that she undresses, in her amorous successes, the girl's a specialist. She's a specialist. The girl's a specialist. She is a specialist.
Hot diggity dog, boy.
A
Who's that?
Hmm?
There's somebody coming.
Oh, that's part of the Judge Davis. Yeah, I sent for him. Well, I better go get him here. You look out.
Oh, hey, Judge.
Bailiff Humboldt, I sure hope you didn't bring me way up here because of some crank telephone call on a wild goose chase.
Well, it's wild, Judge, but it ain't no goose chase. Hey, I'm going to show you something.
What the hell's that?
Well, that looks like Pike Smith. What's he doing up here?
Ah, that private investigator probably called him.
What private investigator?
Hmm? Oh, well, you're going to meet him later.
What's going on? I had a call to get
Never
down.
mind that. Listen, shh. Be quiet. I want to show you something.
Huh? Take a look at that. Doesn't look like a goose, does it?
I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Now, let me have a look.
Hey, listen, I think we ought to get down there and get the streak before she gets out of the water, huh?
What a town.
All right, down, you damn crook! What the hell are you doing here?
Get that camera!
What the hell are you doing? What the jurors? Look at this!
Leave him alone!
You shut up, you! You rascal! I'll tell you that you're in a lot of trouble, you hear me? Get him out of here!
You freak!
Just a minute! Get the pictures! Come on! Let him alone, will you?
Well, going someplace?
It's none of your business now that I'm off the jury, so would you kindly move your car so I can get out of the way?
Well, I just came up for a little peace
I'm
offering.
in a hurry.
Well, we can have one drink together, show there's no hard feelings between us. Then I'll move the car.
Well, all right. One drink, but just one. Then it's goodbye.
Well, it looks like you didn't spend the night alone. You keeping someone else on the side?
Well, that's certainly no way to win me over.
Well, now, I would imagine that a honey like you ever be in town would be humming around you. Hey, you got a couple glasses?
Sure.
Hey, you know where I got this whiskey?
No, where?
From the judge's chambers. Yeah, took a little bit out of all of his best whiskey bottles and put them in this one.
Well, I'm sure to find that out.
No, so I put enough water back in him so he'll never know the difference. Well, big verdicts.
How do you say?
I don't think you really know about me.
So what?
Well, I never try to keep it a secret. Everybody knows this, but a man like me that's so highly endowed.
What?
Well, yeah, it's a fact. Oh, you're embarrassed, huh?
I mean, really, do I look that desperate to you?
Hey, I know a lot about women. I mean, I've never been married myself, but I've had a hell of a lot of experience.
Where? In nursing homes?
Nursing homes, huh? I'll have you know that I'm now working on a record. You're lucky number 51, huh?
Oh.
Hey, I got the souvenirs to prove it.
You are such an old fraud. You know, you should be fired from your job.
Like Jerry Bounds? You know he's apt to be disbarred, don't you?
I'm sorry about that.
Hey, you know this damn thing's wet?
You know what? I've got a great idea. Why don't you come over here and just lie down and relax, and I'll go change into something a little more provocative.
Oh, you're beginning to feel it come on, too, huh?
What?
A great respect for old Humboldt. I mean, you kind of like me to comfort you and soothe you after all that excitement you had yesterday, huh?
Oh, you're such an exciting man.
Oh.
I mean, really, why don't you just go and lie down there and I'll just get into something a little more comfortable.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Comfortable, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Yes, sir. More comfortable. Yeah, well, won't be too long. You know, I didn't get... Well, I didn't get much sleep last night myself with all that excitement. Whew. Yeah, that was a tough day yesterday. More comfortable. Yes, sir. Well, don't be too long.
There's your trophy, number 51. Bastard.
Very well, Your Honor. I understand. Goodbye. The judge has declared a mistrial. Now what do we do?
The first thing I'm going to do is resign as your attorney, Arthur.
But why?
Because I've made the biggest damn fool of myself in the whole county. Now I understand Pike Smith is bringing disbarment proceedings against me.
I think Pike's conduct was in very poor taste.
To say the least.
I don't know why he had a private investigator following you. And then the guy shows up on the scene so conveniently with a camera.
Elizabeth feels the same way.
Then she's sticking by you?
Yeah.
Good. Always liked Elizabeth. She's a noble lady. Look who's here.
Good afternoon, Arthur.
Hello, Elizabeth.
I'm sorry to interrupt your meeting, but I just found out something very, very important, and I think you ought to know about it, too.
Oh, it's no interruption at all. Sit down, please.
Well, this morning, I decided that I would go and see Londa Wyatt. I thought possibly she could help my husband. She could tell the hearing board how she practically forced herself on him. I went to her house and looked in the windows and saw it was deserted. So I knocked on the door, and it went wide open. Now, I wouldn't normally do what I did, but our whole future's at stake. And knowing Pike Smith as I do, I just can't believe he didn't have something to do with this whole thing.
I agree with you.
So I went inside the house.
Elizabeth, that's trespassing. We're in enough trouble as it is.
I don't care. I'm glad I did, because I found out this Londa has vanished.
What do you mean?
She's left town. I don't know for how long, but maybe forever.
You sure about this?
All her closets were empty. Nothing was in them.
Why would she move?
Oh, that's not all. So I checked around the neighborhood. No one knew her. Hardly anyone ever saw her. Apparently apparently she just moved into that house only a week or two before the trial. And get this. The only person the neighborhood grocer ever recognized seeing her with was Hardin Smith.
Hardin Smith, Pike Smith's son, Hardin? Hardin Smith. Now, that is interesting. Why are you so sure about this?
Hardin would wait for her outside in his van whenever she went into the grocery store to do her shopping. So I just thought I'd let you know I'm on my way to pay a little surprise visit to Hardin Smith.
I'm going with you. Hey, keep me advised, and Elizabeth, I'm proud of you for sticking by Jerry.
Oh, I wouldn't divorce him. Murder, yes. Divorce, no.
That's what I thought maybe a real wife would do. And Jerry, I probably would have done the same thing in your spot.
We'll let you know what we find out from Hardin.
Good, thank you.
Jerry, please let me see him alone first. I've met him at several art shows, and he's really very sweet in his way, but if he sees you with me, he won't talk.
All right.
Yeah, it's open. Come in. Mrs. Bounds.
May I come in?
No.
Stay long.
I'm having plumbing problems. The water is all over the thing. No, Mrs. Bounds, please. I have painting. I have a deadline to meet.
Oh, what painting? You know I love your work. I just love to see it.
Yeah, anytime. Mrs. Bounds, you shouldn't be here.
Why shouldn't I?
Because your old man and my dad.
Has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, but they do. My dad would kill me if he knew that you were here.
I don't think so. Pike may resort to a lot of things, but I don't think he'd go that far.
Oh, yes, he would. He would. He has a vicious, violent temper. You don't know him.
Oh, but I do know him. That's why I'm here, Hardin. I think he'd be even madder if he knew about you and Londa Wyatt.
Londa Wyatt? Who's that?
Juror number 6. Oh, come on. Now, Hardin, you don't have to play games with me. I'm not going to tell your father about you and Londa Wyatt. But if you'll tell me what I want to know.
How do you know about... No, I don't know any Londa Wyatt. Andrew Wyatt, yeah, Jane Wyatt, yeah, I know, but
you
no...
know, that looks like juror number 6 to me, and I bet it would to a lot of other people.
No, this Mrs. Bounds is a product of my own imagination. So she happened to be in the jury box, and I came into court, and I saw her, and then the rest of it was a product of my fertile artistic mind. You know a lot about art.
Oh,
That's
yes,
the way it works.
yes, I know a little bit about art, but Hardin, that is a very good likeness. I was in that courtroom every day, and I never recall having seen you there.
Yeah, I was there.
No, you weren't, Hardin. Now,
was.
listen to me. My husband is being threatened with disbarment by your father because of this woman. Do you realize what a serious thing that is to a lawyer, not to be able to practice the law for the rest of his life? Now, please, Hardin, I am begging you. If you know where this woman is...
Stop begging, Elizabeth. I'm sure Hardin will tell us, won't you, Hardin?
Jerry, are you crazy? What are you doing? Put that away.
Now, Hardin, write down the address and phone number of Londa Wyatt.
First of all, I don't know the phone.
Write it!
The address. Wait a minute. Let me get the W's. It's in San Francisco. Anyway. Okay.
It's nice work, Hardin.
I thought you'd gone crazy when you pulled that gun on Hardin.
I had to get that address.
And Pike set you up with that bitch just to get rid of you.
I never thought it'd go that far.
You've got to do something. Go to the Bar Association and prefer charges against him.
Honey, I need proof to make it stick. I have to have evidence. I'll find Linda Wyeth and bring her back here to testify that Pike Smith hired her to entrap me.
Can you get her to do that?
I'll go to San Francisco in the morning.
While you're gone, I'll see if I can find out how she got in jury duty less than 2 weeks after arriving in this town.
Elizabeth. Honey, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Elizabeth.
Thanks for sticking by me.
What happened really hurt me. I can't pretend that it didn't. But I love you too much to let it come between us.
Why did you go to a whorehouse? Do you realize the trouble you put me in? I should be disbarred over this.
How many times do I have to apologize? She only knew me by my first name. She had no idea that I was your son.
You think that won't come out in the courtroom now that Bounds knows about you two? Her only link with me is through you.
Why do you always blame me for everything? What about Sharky?
I didn't know Sharky hired her to entrap Bounds. Sharky just said to put her on the jury so I'd know which way it was leaning. Well, what are we arguing about? It's not going to solve my problem. Look, I think it's time for you to go over to England. Or is your passport good order?
Are you kidding? Sure. I've just been waiting to get the bread together.
Well, I'll give you whatever money you need. I've got some cash in the safe. How soon can you leave?
Wow, I can leave in the morning.
Good. Look, you might as well stay over there till this whole thing blows up.
Okay, Dad. I'm sorry.
No, it was my fault. I shouldn't have involved you in the first place. I had to stop Bounds trying to ruin this town.
Listen, Dad. I'm really, really sorry.
I'll win yet, Bounds. Get you. You're not gonna drag me down.
He's got the wrong house.
Come on, Londa. No bullshit.
How did you know I was here? You should be glad I left town.
I'm coming in, Londa. Unless you want the neighbors to hear our conversation.
All right, what do you want?
I want you to testify before the State Bar Association.
There's no way I can help you.
Oh, yes, you can. You were paid to entrap me.
You can't prove that.
No, I can't. Not unless you admit it. Unless you testify.
Why should I?
Because you're an accomplice to a conspiracy. Coercion, fraud, blackmail. But I want to help you, Londa. I know Pike Smith got you to do it.
Pike Smith? I don't know Pike Smith except from the courtroom and from the lake. If he's got anything to do with it, I don't want to know about it.
Please, Londa, don't make me bring criminal charges against you.
Criminal charges? I'm through with it. I don't want anything more to do with this. Look, you're a nice guy. I'd like to help you. I'm scared. I don't want to go to jail. Just leave me alone.
Yolanda Wyeth?
Son of a bitch.
What is it?
How do you like that? Now I have to appear in court. My job was finished.
Just calm down and shut up. I'll make this work for us.
How?
Pike Smith will have to come across with a little more money for all the extra trouble.
And what if he doesn't pay off?
Oh, he will. He could be disbarred if you talk in court. But don't worry. I'll take care of Pike Smith.
There's a man waiting to see you. Tell him I'm not seeing anybody today.
I told him you weren't in, but he said he won't leave till he talks to you. It's important.
Who is it?
Alex Sharkey.
I've already read the paper.
Bounds paid a visit to Londa in San Francisco. Laid a subpoena on her. I'll be the next one to get one. Way I see it, Londa and I've got to leave town and fast.
Then do it.
Oh, we plan to. But, need a little expense money first. 20 grand.
Don't try to blackmail me.
I'm not blackmailing you, Pike. Call it protection money. You see, you have to talk because if you don't, you'll be disbarred. And Bounds is sure to sue you for damages. Not to mention they'll probably throw a couple of criminal charges in, too. You get what I mean?
You want to ruin me?
No, you ruined yourself, Pike. I did my job. How did Bounds get Londa's address? Huh?
Not through me, and you know it.
Well, only one other person knew her address. That was your son.
It was Londa's fault. She shouldn't have given Hardin her address.
Well, now, why do you suppose that Hardin gave Londa's address to Bounds? You trying to double-cross me?
You crazy?
I want 20 grand. Wasn't part of our deal for me to appear in court.
You're not going to blackmail me. I'll deny everything you say. I'll stonewall it. Your reputation isn't the best, you know, not to mention Londa's. You get out of here.
I think you'll give me that money. Now, suppose we just go right down to that nice big cellar of yours that you have all stashed with money.
What?
I don't have time to play games.
Never get away with this.
Won't I? When I get to Paris, I'll send you a postcard. Move. Come on, let's go.
Please don't take that. It's my wife's jewelry.
I'm no thief. I just want what belongs to me. The money, where is it?
It's in the gray box. It's open.
Yeah.
This is Pike Smith. Give me the sheriff.
Hello, Pike. This is the sheriff. What can I do for you?
Get over to my house right away, Sheriff. Alex Sharkey, private investigator that I hired to follow Bounds, tried to hold me up. He pulled a gun on me and forced me to open my safe. I managed. Look, you better get here as quick as you can.
Hold tight. Don't touch anything. I'll be right over.
Hello?
Mr. Smith?
Speaking.
This is the State Bar Association. I have Mr. Hopkins on the line.
Pike, we have a charge against you for unethical conduct made by Jerry Bounds.
Jerry Bounds, the nerve. I file unethical charges against him. Now he's filing against me. Well, what are his charges?
He claims you framed him.
Framed? Ridiculous.
Pike, we're going to have to set a hearing to try the both of you before the State Bar Association 1 month from today.
Well, all right, Hopkins. Send the papers over.
They're already in the mail, Pike.
Mr. Bounds, call your next witness.
Londa Wyatt.
Londa Wyatt? Raise your right hand, please. You swear that the testimony you will give before this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes.
Sit down, please.
Miss Wyatt, will you please tell the members of this hearing board whether you ever saw me before outside the courtroom?
Except for that day at the lake, of course.
Yes, one other time.
When?
When you came to my house in San Francisco after the mistrial was declared and served me with that subpoena.
I meant before or during the trial.
No, that was it.
Did I ever solicit your support in this case or discuss it with you?
No, never.
And what about Pike Smith? Did you ever see him outside of the courtroom?
Never.
Never?
Oh, except the day at the lake when he caught us together.
And how did Pike Smith know that we were at the lake together? Did you not make a deal with him that for a certain amount of money you would entice me into taking you up to that lake?
I object. As Private Investigator Alex Sharkey called and told me that Bounds had been with one of the jurors.
I'm asking the questions of Miss Wyeth.
Mr. Smith, you'll get your turn. Please let Mr. Bounds continue with his line of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. How did you get on jury duty if you weren't eligible for it?
How should I know? I received a summons to appear on jury duty just like everyone else. So I did. That's all I know.
And what do you know about Hardin Smith? Wasn't he your contact with Pike Smith, his father?
Now, wait a minute. I know a Hardin, but I don't know his last name. And it's certainly big news to me if he's related to Pike Smith.
How do you know Hardin?
I just met him. He said he was an artist and that he wanted to paint my picture. I was flattered, and I agreed to it.
You posed in the nude for several days for Hardin? You didn't even know his last name or that his father was Pike Smith?
That's right.
I object. There's no reason to bring my son's name into this. It has nothing to do with the case. If this lady posed for him, it was a coincidence. Although it's quite natural, my son is a well-known local artist.
And I suppose you never saw Alex Sharkey before that day he photographed us together at the lake.
Mr. Chairman, I object. It was Mr. Bounds' duty to turn away any juror, and he did not. Now he's grasping at straws to cover his own guilt, trying to manufacture a case against me which does not exist.
Your Honor, Pike Smith deliberately and intentionally set me up because some of his best clients prefer my services to his.
What clients? A few collection.
What about the water company?
All right, I was angry about that one. Well, not enough to bring disbarment charges against you?
Gentlemen, please, please. Mr. Bounds, are there any further questions you wish to ask the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith?
None.
Miss Wyeth, you may step down. You're dismissed.
I would like now to inquire into the death of Alex Sharkey.
That has nothing to do with this case.
I think it has.
Because you murdered him. You're crazy. You're desperate. It was self-defense.
No, you murdered him because he was trying to blackmail you. He knew that you tried to set me up. If it ever came out in the open, you could be disbarred.
That's ridiculous. If I had set you up, Sharkey could have blackmailed me. There would have been no need for him to pull a gun. I refused to pay him more money, so he pulled a gun on me. The man could have killed me.
We are not trying Mr. Smith's innocence or guilt in connection with the death of Alex Sharkey. Should he go to court and be found guilty of a crime, naturally, disbarment would follow as a matter of course. However, I understand the circumstances of this case seem to indicate that Mr. Smith was acting purely in self-defense. Now, is there anything pertaining to the disbarment proceedings that either of you wish to say before we deliberate?
I shouldn't be before this hearing board in the first place. It's disgraceful. This man has no case against me, no evidence, no proof, only wishful thinking and his own desperation.
Mr. Hopkins, members of this committee, I admit my guilt, my limited association with the juror. I was entrapped. The efforts of a man whose motivation was professional jealousy. A jealousy that culminated in the death of the private investigator he hired? Pike Smith is guilty of the most serious criminal charges. And yet I've been totally blocked in all my efforts to get any information, any proof, or evidence against him. Is this fair? Is this just? My past record speaks for my character. The law is my livelihood. The law does not give life. God does. Should the law take life, I leave my future in your hands.
Gentlemen, this committee finds itself in a highly unusual position, in that we are hearing charges of unethical conduct practiced by two of our most respected members. Mr. Bounds, we have considered, in passing only, your claim that you were entrapped. As a member of this bar, you are certainly aware and familiar with the rule that no counsel can consort in any way or discuss the case with the jury in the same case. Whether you were entrapped does not free you of these charges. The fact that you did have relations with a juror when you were one of the counsels leaves our hands tied. Therefore, this trial committee of the State Bar Association regretfully finds you guilty as charged.
But Pike Smith framed this whole thing. He killed a man to protect himself.
This is absurd. It's slanderous.
You can't recess this hearing without disbarring him.
The matter of Alex Sharkey's death is not before us. We are sitting in judgment of the rights of you gentlemen to continue to practice law based on the facts before us. You still have an opportunity to appeal your case to the Supreme Court.
Do you believe the Supreme Court would reverse a judgment by a committee of my fellow lawyers? You know better than that. This can't possibly happen. This is my last appeal.
Gentlemen, this committee is recessed.
You can't do that without disbarring Pike Smith.
You're out of order. This committee is adjourned.
But you don't know the truth. You're lawyers. You're supposed to be impartial. Pike Smith lied.
That's contemptuous. He should be held in contempt.
I don't care about contempt. All I care about is the truth. You tried to cover everything up. You got others to do your dirty work for you.
You're talking slander. I'll sue you. Your days are over as a lawyer, so stop trying to act like one. You're not a lawyer anymore. Get out of my way.
Get out of your way. You liar, you son of a bitch.
Jerry, now please leave him alone.
Oh, crazy. You leave me alone, I'll have you arrested for assault.
Jerry, just leave him alone now. There's nothing you can do right now.
Get out of my way, Alyssa.
I'm not